So Crespo, like, what are you looking for with this label? So what are you most excited about? Is it the development of the label, the music you're going to release? What are you most excited about with this launch?
Oh man, I think what we realized was a label held the keys to a lot of the struggles that we were finding in releasing music. I think it's time to take the power in our own hands and have a voice for every producer that doesn't get heard. For us, it was a no-brainer. It's like, let's create a platform for everyone that wants to be heard. There's no boundaries. You can send us your music, we will listen. And I think that's the beauty of CHRMATIC. It's a very diverse label. It's one where everyone's welcome.
This label is going to be a melting pot,
That's
and
awesome.
it's going to be a opportunity. No closed doors in your face. Just explore the sound that you want. We're looking for just good music that we can envision being played at your favorite venues or your festivals.
Was the reason that you started CHRMATIC Records because you thought that some other labels were lacking something, and then as a result CHRMATIC Records would fulfill that? So like, how is CHRMATIC Records going to be unique, and like what will it contribute in the music industry?
I think the way that it's going to be different is we are creating opportunities instead of creating animosity between label and producer, musician.
So with CHRMATIC, what we strive to offer is a place to release your music and also all the resources you need to make sure that record is heard, from help with playlisting, from help with graphics, from even help on the production side. If you need help mastering or mixing, or even finishing the record, we have a whole team in-house to really make sure that your music is ready and where you want it to be.
And I feel like that's something that so many artists are facing and are dealing with every day, where sometimes they, release a song through a label and they split either 50% or however the percentage is, but that label is really not giving them much place. So now they have like only 50% of the royalties, and they could have done a better job by self-releasing. So will CHRMATIC Records fix this issue for their artists to the point where they will do much better than the artists would do by themselves?
CHRMATIC as a label is going to sign all kind of music. If the music isn't there, we're going to create an opportunity to get the records there. Mixing and mastering, production tips, feedback. Like, we're not here to slam doors in people's faces. We're here to kind of invite an opportunity for artists, musicians, producers, DJs to develop their sound.
And to slowly piggyback off that, also to educate a lot of the producers that do not know these things as well, whether it comes to the royalties, the splits, and even the playlisting stuff, because there's a lot of producers that just think it just stays in the bedroom with your record and just exporting a WAV file, but that's just the first chapter of a long journey that you have for your music to really get exposed in the professional manner that you would like to be taken. So there's a lot of things that we would like to, it's more than just a production value that CHRMATIC Records gives us. It's a whole kind of a 360 way looking at it.
Another thing that kind of splits us from the bunch is Crespo is such a curator with music because he's DJ'd with Jaden Smith, he's toured all around the country, he has residencies internationally, and the artists that release with us, they're gonna have an army supporting that music because Crespo's not gonna sign a song he would never play, right? Yeah. So we would never sign a record that we probably would never have interest in, and we're not gonna waste anybody's time. So these musicians and producers can come to us knowing that there's a extended opportunity other than just Spotify, right? Video shares of Crespo banging this out in front of 10,000 people in a venue, us doing the same thing. Those moments last a lot longer than a couple months with little to no plays being released on a tier 1 label.
What kind of music will this record label be signing? Is it going to be like multi-genre, like a specific type of music? Is it going to be specific to dance music, but then all kinds of dance music, or also like pop music? What kind of genres are we looking at?
I think we're definitely not like, I love lo-fi music. I don't know if that's the music we particularly would love to release. I think we all come from dance backgrounds, and we like to play our music in nightclubs and festivals. So I think particularly for now, we'd love to release all kinds of music, but definitely something more on the upbeat end, stuff that we could DJ out live, because we see a huge platform there. And I would love to release some hip hop down the road.
Gino, if you could answer that, what kind of deals are you going to be signing with artists? So is it gonna be like mainly single releases, one song, or more like albums, or will you sign like an artist and then release more than one song with them?
Something we're looking into. Initially, we're just probably looking for singles, just for something to kind of expose just the artist initially. But if an artist was to come across us with like a small EP of something in 3 to 4 to 6 tracks of just something quality, something that maybe could create some sort of dance music story or something like that really just kind of grabs our attention, that's something that's definitely not going to discourage us, at least like looking into those opportunities and options. I mean, if an album comes up and that's, this is an artist that has 16 quality tracks and this is something we want to build maybe a relationship with the artist, and instead, maybe talk to them and see if they'd want to build some sort of like yearly schedule out so that they have something quality to look forward to. There's just so many options to look at, but definitely this is something not to discourage any artist, but if they would like to send us a couple of them, not to send thousands at the same time, we would consider small options like that down the road for sure.
That's great. And in terms of promotion, would every single release get kind of like the same energy put into and the same promotion in general, or are different contracts and different songs will have different kind of like projects?
It could be a sort of a case by case really with these artists, and that's the thing that we really like with CHRMATIC Records, is that we give you that opportunity to do what you want. You kind of give you the canvas of how you'd want to either, we educate you in these playlisting opportunities that you have, or if you want to grow as an artist and really just get your records out there to just create more of a catalog. There's just different ways to kind of angle that. So we like to just give more flexibility to the artist. I think at the end of the day is what we want to do.
So does CHRMATIC Records care about good music, or do they also want to see an artist that has a brand behind them, that has some sort of following and has some sort of like direction already?
That's actually a really good question. I think personally the three of us have come to the notion that like good music will always speak for itself, and we want this to be a home for your music to be able to release. But we also want to be able to help you build your brand. So that's part of the services we offer also. It's like, hey, if you come in here and let's say you don't have a big following, we would love to coach you and show you the ropes, help you build everything from a logo to your artwork, all of that stuff, and know that you have a home here and that we're willing to help you build your brand, because what if we found the next Chainsmokers?
Yeah.
A tip and trick to everybody sending in like previews, Crespo hit it on the head. His crowds, he's in and out of records pretty quick. So when you send a preview, don't feel like we need a extended mix. You've got us for an extended period of time. Keep us interested in the record. I mean, this is psychology 101 when it comes to music creating. So you want to be able to draw people in to listen to your full song.
What do you guys think of vocals that come from Pax or Splice? Like, would you sign a record that has a vocal from Splice or from a Pax?
First off, everybody's using Splice, so it's hard to stand out. And we hear the same vocals that everybody and their mother's hearing on Splice, okay? The second thing is there's a lot of legalities that can come out through it. So Splice might not interfere with your record if you're sub 100,000 streams, but they might step in and try to collect on 1 million streams, and you have to be, as an artist and a label, you have to be willing to cut that. So
I thought it was 100% royalty free.
Well, it's 100% royalty free, but let me tell you, Splice always has an opportunity to collect. So when it comes to our label, if you wanted to stand out above the crowd and you sent us a top line, which is different from a sample pack, and your vocal was original and you got it cut originally, or you use Spotify's program that allows you to hire artists to sing on your records.
Sound better. Yeah.
Obviously, that's going to be more attractive to us because we have an opportunity to allow the artist to monetize on their voice on the record, the producer, and the label. Don't quote me on the Splice law, but I think it's a little bit more attractive when records have more of an organic vocal.
Use it as an inspiration. Use, cadence. Use the cadence. Use it as a little bit more of an inspiration or some like a roadmap, if you will.
Comparatively, if you have an opportunity to work with an artist or somebody who can sing, just pay the $100 for the 1 hour in the studio, have them recut a vocal that's very similar to what you're using as your reference. And right there, you've made your 80% record that's original, 100% original and organic.